On set with me now is a stylist and the founder of Maximus Hair Salon and Spa. His name is Richard. I'm so happy to have him here. He's a real superstar in the hair industry. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Tell us about your salon.
Well, in 1970, we decided to open a salon, a hair cutting shop at the time. Didn't really know much about business, but we were artists that were waiting to share our craft with clients that were willing. And it worked out pretty good.
Now, what is Intercoiffure? Because I know that you're a member, and that's very prestigious.
Yes, Intercoiffure is made up of 1% of the industry globally, of salon owners, managers, creative people, makeup, colorists, and so on, which I'm very proud to be a member of for probably 25 years. I was their artistic director for the USA, Mexico, and Canada. And then after my term was up, I was then appointed to be the global artistic director for USA, Canada, and Mexico worldwide. So it's really been a fantastic opportunity.
Now, how did you start in this industry? Did you like take a pair of scissors to your sister's hair, your mother's hair? Like, how does that start? How does one find their niche in this?
That seems to be the story of most people, but not mine.
Okay, what was yours?
Mine came out of left field. I graduated high school. I went into the National Guard for a while, and when I came home, had no idea what I wanted to do. But my girlfriend at the time and friends of mine at the time were at hairdressing school, and they said, "You should go to hairdressing school. It'll be fun. Lots of nice women, beautiful girls. Have a good time." And that's sort of how I got introduced, and then got very passionate about it.
Do you remember one of your favorite hairstyles that you did for someone? Like, was it an updo? Was it something that you said, my goodness, that is like a work of art?
Well, we like to think we do that on a daily basis, creating works of art. However, there are a couple of exceptional experiences that I had that were very meaningful to me, and that was we were doing a fundraiser at the Waldorf Astoria for the Children's Medical Center. And I was pretty naive at that time, but I was the hairdresser on the set, and we were doing world-class runway models. I didn't even know who they were, but Pat Cleveland was one of them. Pat Cleveland is an iconic runway model, still resonates with people all over the world. Anyhow, I meet Pat. She's, I don't know, 5'10", and I'm looking up at her. She's gorgeous. She's got her hair tight back and a very tight chignon. And I said, Pat, I'm going to release, your chignon and we'll get some crepe. She said, don't do it. She said, don't do it. She says, because my hair is going to get really big and you'll never get it back the way you want it. I said, oh, come on. I can do that. And well, I should have listened. I learned a very good lesson that day. I released her chignon and it got big.
Wow.
And I couldn't get it back down to where it was. She had to do it. And after she did it, I put these fabulous, sort of Las Vegas girl feathers in it. She said to me, make sure those feathers go only on me. No other model in the show. I want them on me. And I'll never forget that hair experience because it turned out to be pretty creative with all those feathers going through it. That was one fabulous experience. The other we had was in Japan. And that was a little bit more recent. That was about 3 or 4 years ago. I actually put a chandelier, a real chandelier, in the model's hair. And she was the finale. In some of the couture shows, the finale with a bride.
Yes.
And she had this fabulous vintage wedding gown. And I decided to go have a chandelier made in the Bowery in New York. And we put it in her hair. She had a little bit of a meltdown because it was so heavy.
Right.
And I had met her for the first time when we got to Japan. But she pulled it off as soon as those paparazzi cameras were there. And as soon as she hit the runway, she was fantastic. She really pulled it off. So those were, some experiences that are out of the ordinary. Goes beyond what we do on a daily basis.
But even what you do on a daily basis, I've witnessed the magic. And I think it's so great when I'm there in your salon and people come in and they greet you. There was one lady the other day that had not seen you in a very long time, and she brought a very special picture with her. Do you remember the lady that I'm talking about?
Not necessarily.
Okay, but there was a lady that had not seen you since you were a child, and she brought in a family photo, and she said, this is you when you were a little boy. And just your kind warmness and your sweetness with her is how you treat all of your clients, which was so exceptional. And I also like the fact that you bring that showbiz feeling to every person. When you walk into your salon, you may be feeling one way, but I can guarantee you when a woman or a man walks out of your salon, they're feeling completely like a star.
Well, that's our goal. Our goal is not only to make you look good. Our goal is to make people feel better. That's more important to me than how you look, really, because sometimes when people look in the mirror, they can't adjust to a new look. very quickly. Sometimes they need the acknowledgement of dad, husband, the children especially, and when the children are involved, it's because no one wants mom to change. So when they come home, Mom, what did you do? And well, you're talking about a 6 or 7-year-old. So we always try to suggest that we appreciate the kids' feedback, but don't necessarily take that as the gospel. You look great.
Grow
we
into
want them
it.
to feel good. That's the key.
And you have two new things that you're doing, a calligraphy cut. What's a calligraphy cut?
This is very cool. We'll be the first on the entire East Coast that has a new tool. It's called a calligraphy pen. It's not a pen. It's a tool that we can actually style hair with. But you use it as if it were a calligraphy pen. It was designed by a man named Frank Grauman from Germany, and he's been very protective about this tool. You cannot buy the tool without taking a 3-day class on how to use it.
Okay.
And it's only designed to appeal to maybe the top 1% of hairstylists in the world.
Oh.
Because it takes your skill sets to another level.
Okay.
It's different tools. You're not using a scissor, you're not using a razor in the traditional ways that you do, and there's so many different kinds of scissor. This is the only tool like it in the world. He guards it like unbelievable, and there's only 2 people in our salon so far that are certified to use it. That's myself and Janine Palmer. But in June, the latter part of June, we'll be doing a class at our salon and hosting other stylists from New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and I think some parts of Long Island to get certified in how to use the tool. But it's only
Very
for the
cool.
top 1% in the industry.
And I do know calligraphy because I took calligraphy, and I know it has something to do with the 45-degree angle. And you have one other thing that you wanted to talk about, which was a DNA facial. Tell us about that real quick before we wrap up.
This is the coolest of all because this is the only one in the country, in fact in the world, that actually has a facial that's predicated on your personal DNA. What we do in the beginning is to swab the inside of your cheek. That swab goes off to a scientific lab. The lab, 2 to 3 weeks later, sends back the report on what your DNA is telling us about your skin from the inside out. So while we have very qualified estheticians that could determine skin conditions on the exterior, they look at your skin, it's dry, adult acne, rosacea, whatever it may be. This has another tool on more information that starts from the inside out. So it starts with the swab. We do a facial. Then there is a cleanser, moisturizer, toner, and anti-wrinkle cream that you feel immediately. I mean, you get the immediate effects. And I thought it would take 30 days, 60 days, but clients are telling us, no, I felt the difference in 2 or 3 days because it sort of tightens the skin a little bit.
Nice.
Anyhow, so those are that's part of that first facial.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. And I know that I'll be seeing you very soon over in Carl Place, but I really appreciate you spending some time with us. I know you're very busy. In fact, you told me like you have a client waiting for you. So he's got to go do hair. So let him go do his job, right? Stay tuned for more on Live It Up. We hope you enjoyed this. And please go visit Maximus. Thank you.